I'm nervous because my first ever proper boss is here and she might grade me after this, so be on my side. As Kathleen said, my boyfriend and I published a book last week, and it's not written for any of you in this room, which doesn't mean I don't want you to buy it. But we're all old, sorry, and the book is for young, box-fresh new talent starting out in their careers for the very first time. I mean, shitty Saturday jobs, right the way through to probably resigning from your first kind of graduate role, mid-20s. It's called How to Go to Work. And I wrote it because I was angry, and I've been cultivating that anger since I was 16, which is ugly and unhealthy, so I had to do something about it. I was angry at a system that lets young people down as they prepare for this life-changing experience. And I recognise that system because it's the same under-resourced and uninspired one that told me to do GMVQ hair and beauty at Salisbury College instead of following my ambitions of a scholarship at A-level, first-class degree, and my first career in advertising. And I was angry about businesses and leaders complaining that young people aren't prepared or properly prepared for employment without suggesting real alternatives or solutions that everyone can grasp. Since I was 16, nothing has changed about either of these things. We're stuck. You still do a rudimentary quiz at school that points you in often really wonky directions. My sister is an early years teacher, she is brilliant, and the quiz told her to be a funeral director. It's not on a CD-ROM anymore, I'll give you that, but it's the same principle and it's still as unsophisticated. And throughout history, bosses have moaned about people who just happen to be younger than them. It's broken and it's boring and it sets us all up to flounder and fail. And I'm not angry now because I've sorted it all out. The book is a manifesto for changing those tired old patterns, partly because it's just straightforwardly honest. I'm not interested in single narrative show-off success stories, and mine certainly isn't one. It's all the stuff no one ever tells you at the start of your career. And it's collected wisdom from all sorts of industries, voices from arts, social impact, tech, science, manufacturing, and media. Because it's time we reinvented our attitudes to this giant life transition that everyone goes through. If you think about it, it isn't until we hit our working lives that we really start to carve out our place in the world. It's a significant moment of arrival and a thrilling rite of passage. So I want to empower and embolden people at that moment instead of telling them that they're inadequate. And truthfully, I probably want it to scare the shit out of a certain kind of careers advisor, like the one who told me recently that her job was the graveyard shift. Each generation demonizes the one that follows, that they're lazy, they don't know how to behave, forgetting that we were lazy and didn't know how to behave. It was brilliant. And if you examine yourself, you might be guilty of expressing some of those sentiments, even accidentally, because there are very real frustrations on both sides, and employers are trying but struggling to bridge the generational gap that affects expectations, language, outlook, and cell phone addiction. But we have a responsibility and a commercial imperative to cultivate environments where young talent is more nurtured. We talk about authenticity and bringing your whole self to work while creating cultures that criticize those whole selves for not being exactly attitudinally the same as our whole selves now. And that's insane. More diverse, more welcoming, more tender. And if we reduce that, we're sort of saying no to a whole load of fresh new perspectives and original talent. Once you're grown up and established in your career, it's impossible to remember how you felt at the beginning on your first day and your first proper job. So I want you all to try. And if you know someone who's making decisions about who or what they want to be at work, then you are allowed to read the book, but it was definitely written for them. Thank you.